Good morning. I'm in the Bluestack Mountains in Donegal today, and I'm right at the far western reaches of the Bluestacks. So I'm going to walk three tops that I haven't walked before, and that's just at the start of the walk. Then I'll head up over some tops that I have done before. Either 6 or 9 tops I'm doing on this trip. I'm just going to see how I get on, and I have 2 hills in mind for a summit camp, either Silver Hill or Lava Moor, and again we'll see how we get on. So this is the last weekend of some really beautiful settled weather, and I wanted to get out to enjoy that, though it's nearly too hot. I have the sun cream well plastered on. Last weekend when I was in the Derryveys, I found the only rain in the settled spell, and it rained literally for like 20 odd hours, so I didn't have the sunshine and the views or nothing, so I'm determined to change that this weekend. And at the minute I'm just near where I've parked. There's these old ruins of farm buildings, so I'm just taking me a bit of time to go through these and near enough get a wee bit of a sense of what this place was like before the trees took it over and people left and things changed, and we probably went to a faster, more different world than it was back in these days. I'm not sure if this is the outdoor toilet, or the dunny, as they call it in Australia. It looks about the right sort of shape and size. And it's got a really cool sort of natural roof now, like architects and all sort of try and plan that in. I do remember way back in the day, oh goodness, must be over 40 years ago, my granny's house had a lovely outside toilet where you went out and sort of had to endure the spiders and all sorts of other creepy crawlies while you were doing your business. This is the first top of the day, Binbean at 453 metres, and there's a bit of a strange sort of solar powered light setup going on with these 1, 2, like 5 sort of uplighters. So I would assume they must come on after it gets dark, certainly with all the sun. They should be well powered up. So that's heading over around my sort of route. There's a northeast top of this hill, and then as you can see it sort of gradually builds and builds away over to that's Lava Beg and Crookgorm, the 2 biggest hills in the Bluestacks. Really big views today. You can easily see over the Sligo Mountains, Coca Mountain over in Fermanagh, and I can see clearly the line of hills from Neffin all the way across the Neffin Beg to the big long outline of Slieve Car, and there's even, I can see hills even further south. Now my eyesight isn't as good, so I'm not sure if that's the other side of Clew Bay, down towards Crookpatrick, and cracking views as well out towards one of my favourite walking places, up over Slieve Tui and the big strand there at Macara, and if we're covering all of Donegal, you can clearly see up the Errigal and Slieve Snacked up that way. So really warm today, so it'll probably be quite slow going, I think, but I'll just plod my way over the hills, and I'll see how far I get by this evening. This is Bivy northeast top at 439 metres, so certainly not as impressive in terms of views. There's 4 or 5 wee sort of pools of water up here which are fairly substantial, so it'll last out any like really dry spell. And most of the wee pools of water that I've passed so far have had dragonflies sort of going back and forth across them, which is really, really cool. A big goose was sitting on that wee mound, we'd even call it an island, just in the middle of this pool here, and flew off whenever I can pass. But there's a nest there, so I can see all the feathers, and I think that there's eggs down in there. So I'll be on my way, but it's really cool. I haven't seen anything like that out in the hills. Definitely a goose for the size of it. Not that it hasn't been good taking in those 3 new tops, but I think from now, for me, this is where it gets a wee bit more interesting. That's Carnarvon, and that's 521 metres. And you can see there's a wee bit more of a rockier profile, which is, I suppose, more what the Bluestacks are about for me. Wasn't too difficult, the ground I've come across so far, but it was that sort of deep, sort of spongy ground, which usually is very wet, so not particularly easy to walk on either. So that's Carnlough down there, and I'll go down there and maybe stop for a wee bit before the climb. When I was on the top of Carnarvon many years ago, this is only the second time I've been on it. That cross, or an incarnation of that cross, was there. So there's now a new, it says it's like a sculpture. I suppose it has religious connotations, but it's actually quite cool, I think. Metal box, and it has a visitor book inside to sign, which I've signed. This is Miley's Lock, and it's given me a wee resting spot after coming off Carnarvon and before climbing up Silver Hill, and it would have blew the absolute head off you up on the top of Carnarvon. So there's a nice wee bit of shelter down here, so I maybe have to think about my summit camp. If I can get a wee bit of shelter up the top somewhere, I'll go with that, with the bivy. But if not, I'll maybe need to go a wee bit lower. There is quite a wind at height. Love them or hate them, agree or disagree, there they are. I think there's 6 of these tucked away in this valley, Not particularly big, but they certainly have a big impact on the space and the environment here. Again, I don't know. Well, part of me was I'd want them here, I want them somewhere else. But where would you have them? I don't know. That stiff wee breeze is up here as well on the summit of Silver Hill, which is at 600 metres. And I've had a good look around the summit to try and give me a bit of shelter. That's a summit cairn just up there, and there's a wee face of rock just beside it, which I was considering, but you know what? I was drawn to here. And there's going to be a bit of shelter behind these rocks, and I'm sort of getting the sun, the last of the light as it goes down. I'll be able to watch the sunset. Definitely not a perfect pitch. Hopefully it was sliding all over the place, and the air's actually starting to sharpen up a wee bit just as the sun's setting, and lovely views out over towards Sleeve 2A, Sleeve Lake, and over Donegal Bay out to Sligo and Ben Bulben, and really cool looking out over towards some of the islands there. That's Arramore Island, with the cliffs there just off the coast of Donegal. So I think it's tea time. I've had 1 litre of water today with electrolytes in it, which has sort of done me okay, but I probably need to drink 3 or 4 cups of tea now, and I'm not going to complain about that. It's 20 to 10. The sun is just dipping down into the ocean, and there's a lovely red tinge starting to creep up in the sky. Nearly as red as my fingers with the continents up here. Oh goodness. I don't know if this as well, but that's caught my eye up. Big line of cloud. It's like just like arrow straight, sort of coming from away out there and heading away across. Just thought that was interesting. I've had a cup of tea again. I've said that works wonders, and I'll get something to eat here and just chill out a wee bit more, and then I think I'll probably be jumping in to get warmed up. It's 10:30, and as you can see, that the last of the light is just disappearing, and it's an absolutely gorgeous clue to the sky, just away out to the west there. I've my last cup of tea on, and I'll be fairly sharp and getting into the bivy. I think after that, when I was up getting water for my last cup of tea, I saw a badger just sort of trundling along, so I ran back to get the camera, and we're back up again, and I think I got a wee tiny bit of footage of it running away from me, I think. Um, these rocks, I've been sitting in these rocks here for a bit, just chilling out, and they've held a lot of the heat from the sun that was about today, so that's given me a wee bit of heat to combat the chill here. So I'll get this cup of tea, and that'll be me. So I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning from the top of Silver Hill in the Bluestacks. Lovely morning, quite cool, although the sun is just starting to bring a wee bit of warmth now, and the wind did change last night just to wipe out my wee sheltered spot behind the rock, and I think it did that absolutely on purpose. So the wind got up, and with the change of direction I was sort of getting the wind full on, which did bring a bit of coolness, but it was okay, it was grand at a decent night. Some lovely lenticular clouds this morning, back up across the Bluestacks. I just absolutely love those clouds, just for the air rising up over the mountains. And there is a wee bit more cloud floating about this morning. I don't know if that's just because it's early, and there was a bit of mist last night, where there's just some stuff lifting off just as the day and the heat gets going. But absolutely stunning up here. I did the stars for a bit last night, looking up at them, but I say then the mist sort of started to drop down and wipe them out. But that was okay, because that was probably around 11:30, 12, and sure, that was sleep time anyway. So I'm just getting another cup of tea and a go here. No Weetabix this morning. I had 2 boiled eggs and a chocolate croissant. I don't know if that's living the high life or what, but that's it's not. This is the summit of Lava Bay at 650 metres, and you know what, I think this might have done me well if I hadn't needed it for a camp. There's lots of sort of wee nooks and crannies, and there's a couple of loughs, so plenty of options for water. That's back over to Silver Hill over there. I've never walked between Silver Hill and Lava Bay, so that was new for me. I have been to both before, but haven't connected the dots. So I might stop here a wee bit, just in the shelter. It's a fine balance between t-shirt or no t-shirt, just with that cool wind and the sun continuing to warm up. But if a wee bit of a drop, then if they climb up, I'll have a more. Last stop, number 9. So this has been a stroll at 505 metres, and there's the Stroll Valley, which runs up to the Stroll Gap, which is the col between Crockorm and Lavamore, the two biggest mountains in the Bluestacks. And you can see the sort of circle I've done. So there's Lavamore, Lavabeg, and over to Silver Hill. So it's downhill all the way now, and I'll drop down to the track and down to the dam and have a look around there. You can see that there is an artificial dam here. I've walked up along the side of this in the bare peat, which is an interesting experience, which again tells me it's not natural, it's artificial. I'm very gingerly, because I was just waiting at any stage for my foot to maybe drop down 3 or 4 foot through the peat, but very little water in here. I'll have a look and see if I can find anything out online to see what this is, but my sense that it is probably some sort of hydropower scheme. Not quite the bus from Into the Wild that Christopher McCandless spent a lot of time in. Definitely not. Not a nice smell either. I think I'll take the bivy. I'm done. And that was a tough one in that weather. You can probably hear it in my voice. My first stop is at a garage or somewhere to get something to drink. I don't think 3 cups of tea was anywhere near enough today. And I can definitely feel it in my feet as well. Feet, no doubt there's a bit of redness. Again, just with the heat. Though the ground was lovely and dry. And the last good bit of the walk was in the Bluestack Way. And I was sort of thinking you would need to have your head examined to do this in normal conditions. It would just be like a swamp. Not good. So I've been out for just about 30 hours. I've done 43.5 kilometres and I've climbed 1,700 metres. Now I'm nearly sure when I worked this out in Outdoor Active that it was 28 or 29 kilometres. I don't know where the extra like 15 have come from. I was maybe chasing that badger up on the top of Savour Hill last night. But it really, no matter how tough or how much longer it was a really good trip. Good to be outdoors in this good weather, which is the vanish this week. Good to tramp over some new hills, and there's the 3 of them there, and some new ground as well, connecting different hills that I haven't been on for. And I didn't see a single person as I predicted, and I still am amazed at that, to spend 2 full days out in Irish hills and not meet another person. That just says something really cool, I think. So until the next one, goodbye.